Hi, this is Tom, and thank you for joining. Please consider subscribing. This week we continue the work on the SCX10 Raw Builder's Kit, and we're focusing on assembling the dampers. So glad you could make it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy another week here at Bryn Mawr RC. Common understanding in the RC world is the plastic shocks that come with the 10.2 Raw Builder's Kit are not very good. They don't articulate very well, they're not smooth, sometimes they leak, etc., etc. I'm not sure exactly how they could still be selling that, even after all these years, Axial. Shame on you. However, as the theme for this build is we're doing this on the cheap, we are going to use these shocks and just try to make them work. So I'll be adding a few things as we go along, and I'll point out those special items that may differ than the standard shock build. So this one I'm going to be using the book a lot. I haven't built a lot of shocks, so I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. So let's get rolling. Now, I have broke out most of the components I need to build the shocks. I also purchased these axial shock diaphragms and thinking they would fit these shocks, but they don't. So these must be for a bigger, better shock, and we'll figure out how to use those in the future. Okay, I have pre-built a few of these shock ends, and what we have in here is two O-rings sandwiched around a little chunk of plastic that is going to be the end of the shock. And some of the feedback online is that using some of this green, it's called green slime shock lube, may help some of the leaking. So we'll give that a go as we continue. So let's put a couple of these on and get a start. I want to make sure that fits. Now it was suggested that some of the green slime down in here may actually help. O-ring. This is a 2.5 by 1.5 millimeter O-ring. A piece of plastic that is the shock bottom. And then another O-ring. And this is where it was suggested to actually put a little green slime. Ooh, it's definitely green slime. Probably too much, maybe? I don't know. Put some in there. See how that goes. I'm just kind of winging it here. Okay, so bottom of the shock in with two O-rings and that plastic supporter ring with lots of green slime. So hopefully that should stop the leaking. And then this goes all the way through. Oh, there's some of that green slime that came out. All the way through. Okay. So now we're just putting an end on. Alrighty, there we got the end on the shock shaft, and it still seems to be pretty smooth. I didn't mar the shock shaft. What is next? I think these are, in the real world, these are a shock reservoir, but clearly this is just for show. Just for scale points, I'm guessing. Okay, just finishing up working on the shock cap. We put the O-ring in there, but I'm going to pop it back out and get a little green slime on it, and then pop it in inside here like that. This is probably too much, but it said apply liberally, so there's applying liberally. Push it on, push it down in a little bit. Okay. There we go. It should be good when we set the O-ring down in there. So now we fill it with oil. So I have some leftover Traxxas shock oil, but I'm going to use what came in this kit, which is what Axial calls 30 weight. Ooh, too much, too much. So I put too much in, and I'll just take it out by dipping this in there. Now we bring it up and take the air out. Take some of it out, a little too much. Waste not, want not. Okay. Not sure if it matters. Okay, so you put on the bottom of the shock, you put the platform where the spring will rest, and you rest the spring in it in little grooves. And then if you want to put extra tension, this is what this little collar was for. You can slide it down the shock body to give more tension. So here there's almost no tension in the spring, just ever so slight. There we go, one SCX10ii raw builder's kit shock complete. Okay, final damper here. I already installed the shock, the rod and the end, and I have the pre-tensioner preset. Now it is just time to give a little oil and work the air out. And the final spring. Yeah, I think they're good. We're complete for this week. Thank you so much for joining. Stay safe, be well, and come back again next week for our next video on Bryn Mawr RC. Thanks. Bye.